The year is 1984. The Soviet Union sends a spacecraft to Venus. Before this, humanity had almost no idea what Venus was really like. But what this mission discovered on Venus was so terrifying that even today, 42 years later, whether it's NASA, Russia, China, or India, every country is terrified of going back. But the question is, what exactly did the Soviet Union see on Venus? In 1969, humanity first set foot on the moon. Since then, scientists have sent spacecraft countless times to Mars, Saturn, and even Jupiter's moons. Even visionaries like Elon Musk are actively planning human settlements on Mars. But have you ever wondered why no one ever talks about building a colony on Venus, a planet right next door and almost the exact same size as Earth? Forget colonies, nobody even wants to send a spacecraft there. Why is that? What dark mystery is hidden on Venus? The answer lies in a Soviet Union mission conducted 42 years ago. Something happened during that mission that left scientists absolutely stunned. There are even pictures from that mission that scientists still can't fully explain today. So, I am here with you. By popular request, I've brought another space science video to Relentium Mind. By the end of this video, you'll understand just how terrifying and mysterious that bright star shining in our morning and evening sky actually is. And don't worry, you don't need to be a science expert to understand this. I'll explain everything in a super simple way. This video is going to be incredibly interesting, so be sure to watch until the very end. And hit that like button right now. After World War II, the US and the Soviet Union got entangled in the Cold War. This rivalry soon spilled over into space science and technology. Both superpowers wanted scientific dominance to establish their global hegemony. In the early days of the space race, the Soviets were way ahead. They sent the first satellite, Sputnik 1, into space. They also sent the first human, Yuri Gagarin. The Soviets were even the first to send a probe to the moon, named Luna 2. After that, the Soviets' next target was Earth's closest neighbor, Venus. In our solar system, Venus is the closest planet to Earth, only about 26 million miles away. And surprisingly, Venus shares a lot of structural similarities with Earth. For example, Venus's total volume is about 95% of Earth's, so size-wise, they are practically identical. Even in terms of mass, the two planets are very similar. Plus, just like Earth, Venus is surrounded by a dense atmosphere. Because of all these similarities, the two planets are often called twin sisters. Because of these similarities, scientists back then believed that life might exist on Venus, and if a space agency could find signs of life outside of Earth, it would create a massive historical milestone. That's exactly why the Soviets launched their special Venera program aimed exclusively at Venus. But there was a major problem. Whenever scientists tried to look at Venus through telescopes, all they saw was a thick layer of atmosphere. This layer was so dense that they couldn't see what was on the planet's surface. Amidst this, in 1960, American astronomer Carl Sagan published a research paper on Venus. He clearly stated that the thick layer of clouds surrounding Venus was actually made up of greenhouse gases. Because of these greenhouse gases, and the fact that Venus is closer to the Sun, scientists theorized that the temperature on Venus would be incredibly hot, so hot that no living organism could survive. Scientists widely accepted Sagan's theory. Space agencies at the time lost interest in Venus, but the Soviet Union took it as a challenge. In 1961, the Soviets built 2 probes bound for Venus and named the mission Venera 1. On February 12, 1961, the Soviet Union launched these 2 probes atop their ballistic missiles. However, the extreme heat of the sun fried their sensors, and the probes were lost in deep space. Following the Soviets' lead, NASA launched its own probe, Mariner 2, which passed within about 21,000 miles of Venus. NASA's Mariner 2 collected shocking data about the Venusian atmosphere. This data proved Carl Sagan's greenhouse effect theory was 100% correct. It revealed that the surface temperature of Venus was around 450 degrees Fahrenheit, 237 degrees Celsius, more than twice the boiling point of water. The cloud layer was so thick that NASA realized there was zero chance of life existing on Venus.
They shifted their focus entirely to the Moon and Mars.
The Soviets, however, didn't give up. In 1965, they launched another probe, Venera 2. It got within 15,000 miles of Venus, but failed because the probe's external thermal coating was destroyed by the intense solar heat. Next came Venera 3. On March 1, 1966, a human-made probe entered the atmosphere of another planet for the first time in history, but the extreme heat and pressure of Venus melted all its internal components before it could transmit surface data. The Soviet Union then built the Venera 4 mission. It was designed to withstand temperatures up to 750 degrees Fahrenheit, pressures up to 25 atmospheres. But as it descended 16 miles into the atmosphere, the temperature reached 500 degrees Fahrenheit, and the pressure hit 22 atmospheres. The immense atmospheric pressure caused the capsule to completely crumple and implode. After that, NASA's Mariner 5 probe sent back even more terrifying data. They discovered that the atmospheric pressure on Venus is about 90 atmospheres. The temperature is nearly 900 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt solid lead. The atmosphere is filled with carbon dioxide, nitrogen, and toxic sulfuric acid. All in all, our beloved morning star is actually pretty close to literal hell. Still, the Soviets wouldn't quit. Venera 5 and 6 were launched, but they melted too. Scientists then used deep-sea submarine technology to build Venera 7. This massive 1,000-pound titanium capsule could withstand 180 atmospheres of pressure and 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit temperatures. In 1970, it successfully landed and transmitted data for 23 minutes. As the first human-made object to touch down on another planet, Venera 7 revealed that there is no dirt or soil on Venus. It's entirely covered in solid rock. The Soviets' next target was to capture photos. In 1972, Venera 8 was launched, surviving for about 50 minutes in 930-degree heat and sending back data confirming the rocks were actually basalt. Then came the truly historic moment, Venera 9. On October 22, 1975, navigating through clouds of sulfuric acid and 220-mile-per-hour winds, the lander touched down on Venus. Even though its landing gear was heavily damaged, it successfully sent back the first ever black and white photograph of the surface of Venus to Earth. Just think about it. In 1975, a human-made machine standing on a planet that's basically a burning inferno, millions of miles away, was sending pictures back to us. After that, Venera 10 sent back a panoramic photo, and Venera 13 and 14, launched in 1981, straight up made history. They sent back color photos, drilled for soil samples, and for the very first time, recorded the actual audio of Venus. The roar of the alien wind sounds like everything around you is violently breaking apart. Soviet scientists eventually wrapped up the Venera program by sending 2 artificial satellites, Venera 15 and 16, into orbit. In 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed. Based on decades of data, scientists are now certain that it is almost impossible for any living creature to survive on Venus, today or in the future. And that is exactly why, even 42 years later, no space agency wants to send a spacecraft to the surface. So tell me, did you know all these terrifying facts about the bright star you've been looking at in the sky all this time? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Today, NASA is researching deep-sea environments, and if they're successful, we might just find signs of life on Jupiter's moon, Europa, in the near future. If you want to see more space science videos like this, let us know in the comments, and we'll definitely try to make more. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay well and stay healthy. I've been your host, and you're watching Relentium Mind.